Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In his first speech on the subject of Tariq-e-Jadid, Hazrat Muslim Maud Radhiyallahu Anhu put a demand before the Jamaat as a test before the initiative of Tariq-e-Jadid was revealed. And this test was that in October of 1934, the enemies of Ahmadiyyat were planning on holding a gathering in Qadian. Their objective was to create disorder and to instigate Ahmadis into that disorder so that a conflict could be created. In these circumstances, Hazrat Muslim Maud Radhiyallahu Anhu made a demand of the Jamaat, and he said that no matter what happens, even if someone is instigated, even if someone is beaten, even if someone goes to the point of having to be killed, they should not respond either with their hands or with their mouth. In fact, even if someone is walking by and witnesses it, even then they should remain patient and they should not respond in any way. However, Huzur said that if anyone has a camera, and if people have cameras, they should bring them into Qadian. Then if they see that the police and those who are in charge in the government are not fulfilling their responsibilities, then a photograph of that situation should be taken so that it can be used as evidence afterwards. This teaching of patience that Hazrat Muslim Maud Radhiyallahu Anhu gave is not something that is new to the Jamaat, but it is carried forward throughout the history of Ahmadiyya. At certain times, when the government allowed, Ahmadis have defended themselves to a minimal degree. And then at other times, when there was a risk of greater disorder as a result of defending ourselves, our Khulafa have repeatedly told us to bear every hardship with steadfastness and patience. Such situations exist today as well, where Ahmadis are advised to be patient even in the face of all types of threats that they face to their lives. Huzur said that there are some Ahmadis who out of ignorance say that we should respond with violence to those who attack us. Huzur Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Nasr al-Aziz said that even if there are only a few people who hold this view, this is a poison in the Jamaat that has to be eradicated. Huzur said that those Ahmadis who are in Pakistan who are actually bearing these hardships, they bear their hardships with steadfastness. But those people who are sitting far away in safety and away from any tangible harm, they are the ones who raise these types of voices, saying that we should respond with violence. If they wish to truly be sympathetic to their brothers, then they should be steadfast. But those people who actually know what kind of risks that violence brings are the ones that are bearing it patiently. This shows that the people who wish to have violence are only responding with their nafs-e ammara. What's interesting here is that those people who are far away from danger are the ones who make the greatest show of bravery. It is our nafs-e ammara, our lower self, which is a coward, which tries to make false shows of bravery. When we are told to be steadfast in a time of patience, then our nafs-e ammara, our lower self, says that we should be violent, we should attack. Our lower self is impatient, and it acts out of cowardice. But then when the time comes to actually fight, then those same people who submit to their lower self, their lower cowardly self, when they are told to be steadfast in battle, a situation that requires greater steadfastness than normal situations, then that same lower self that they submitted to, which was a coward, flees from the battlefield. This is a situation that is described in the Holy Quran as well, where it is described that there were a people from the Bani Israel who demanded of their Prophet of God that they be given a king so that they could fight. That Prophet of God said that is it not likely that if you are given a king and you are told to fight, then you will not be able to be steadfast? They said, how can we not be steadfast when we have been turned out of our homes? But then when that desire of their lower self was fulfilled, and they were told to go on the battlefield, then only a few of them remained steadfast, but most of them ran from the battle. So this lesson from the Holy Quran teaches us that when a person gives in to their cowardly lower self, then they make great shows of bravery from a position of safety. But when they are actually called upon to be steadfast on the battlefield, then their true bravery will come out, and they will be shown to be cowards. So if a person is not able to be steadfast with patience when they are told to bear hardships, then how can that person be steadfast when they're on the battlefield and told to bear even greater hardships in that situation? This test of steadfastness was the first demand that Hazrat Muslim Maud Radhiyallahu Anhu made before the grand initiative of Tariq-e-Jadid was introduced. Those people at the time of Hazrat Muslim Maud Radhiyallahu Anhu, and also today as well, who can be steadfast at one time of hardship, can also be counted on to be steadfast at other times of hardship as well. But those people who are not able to be steadfast at one type of hardship, then when another type of hardship comes, then it is expected and inevitable almost that they would fail in being steadfast in those situations. Also, a point that applies for us today is that accountability for the government and for police is something that is our right as law-abiding citizens. And to photograph the police and government officials, if they are failing to do their job, is something that results in justice being established. It results in accountability that goes across the nation and across the world. These means that are here at our disposal, to be able to photograph the police and government officials who fail to do their responsibility in order to effectively hold them accountable, is an exercise of our lawful rights as citizens, and it is a means by which we can establish justice. So the first test by which we are judged as to whether we are worthy of the blessings of Tariq-e-Jadid is the test of steadfastness.